Wish I could talk a little bit too while I'm getting set up here. I use a little open-faced reel like this. When I was a kid, there was a guy in my neighborhood that was friends with my parents, and he had a son, but he was just a baby, and he liked to go fishing, and he sort of thought it'd be fun to take somebody fishing, and we went to church together. So he took me fishing once. He took me up to Lake Altoona. This is back when, you know, Lake Altoona wasn't being overrun by mad jet skiers and such. And rented a boat, and we rode out, and we took some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and a couple of Coca-Colas, you know, back when they was in the green bottle and all. We sat in that boat all day, didn't catch a thing, but didn't matter because I had a great time. That was so nice to be fishing with a grown-up, and you know, just to get some kind of grown-up attention. It's just about the awesomest thing ever. So I'm gonna start off with this little Shyster. I never fished with one of these, but it's yellow and it's got little red spots on it. Let me say too, these things were under $5 a piece. Now, when I went to look at the the Walmart, the cheap Chinese spinners that are a copy of these, they were more expensive than these were. I don't know why anybody wouldn't, you know, go out and buy something like this. Ah, dang. I got some fish oil, some scent that's in my tackle box, and it has leaked. So my whole tackle box smells like fish oil. Which might not be such a bad thing. I mean, yeah, that bottle's empty. Every bit of that spilled out in there. Oh well. So yeah. So I just rub that rag on my lures, I guess, if I need a little fish oil on it. I'll pick that up later and take it up to the house. Maybe I got a rag over here and wipe my fingers on. So anyway, this man took me fishing. He would come to our house sometimes. We had a little 10-foot boat, and one day he bought a little bitty boat motor. Oh, I don't know, it's probably 2-3 horsepower. It was just a tiny little thing. He put that boat motor on there, and it just zoomed around our little lake. You know, it was amazing. Anyway, he died. He got hit by a gravel truck. Died when I was in junior high, and it was a big loss to me. That was hard to take. Yeah, see, these even have the Shyster name right on them. This is a company that cares about their stuff now. I'm just saying. I've got on this old... Anyway, I was going to tell you, he gave me a Mitchell 300, which is an open-face reel. A lot like this, but bigger. I don't have a Mitchell 300, but I bought this little Shyster, and I put some heavy line, and I used some of this white nylon line that doesn't tangle very easy. And probably the weakest part of this is this little connector right here. But I tried to make sure I got a good connector, not because some of those, you can also get those cheap Chinese connectors that ain't much good either. So I'm gonna take and just wipe some of that fish oil that I got on this rag, which is probably a good way to do it rather than just soaking it down, getting it all soaking wet with it. I'm just gonna sit here and cast. I don't remember if there's anything else I was going to say about that. Just that these Shyster lures are not, in my opinion, dreadfully expensive, and I don't see why anybody wouldn't want one of them. I want to see the action of this thing. I don't know if I can hold the camera and reel so you can see the action of it. Oh yeah. Now see that would catch a fish. You can see when that thing goes through the water. It's tugging. It has some. You can feel when a lure is doing what it's supposed to do. You can feel it tugging against your line, and just watch by the way it goes through the water. You can tell when it's got real good action. The other thing about this, probably because it's got that brass body, it's got enough weight, so I should be able to throw it out there for a good long ways. So maybe I can almost get it to the other side. Let's see. That's pretty good. Now the thing about one of these is you don't want it to be sinking to the bottom. And if you can see the tip of my rod vibrating, well, that's vibration there is because that little shiny wheel is going around on that bait. If you could see that bait down in there, that little shiny wheel just a spinning. Let me try to point y'all down a little bit. Maybe you can see that when it comes through the water. Oh, you have to release this thing before you can cast. Little fact you might want to know about. So I usually let it sink a little, but not to the bottom. And then I give it a little pull, get that wheel engaged, and I just reel it in as slow as I can without it not spinning. And you can feel it, it even tracks over a little bit to one side as it goes through the water. See, that's the kind of activity that'll excite a fish if they see that. Let me, I'm just gonna hang my legs over the side here. Oh, it's just like being a kid again. Now, I don't really fish for supper. I mostly just fish because it's fun. And it's kind of exciting when you catch a fish, although I like to get them off the hook without hurting them when I can. I try to every time. I just fish because it's a chance to sit peacefully by the water, watch nature. Now, a while back, I went over to that pond, and I had a Shyster then that I found in one of my boxes. It was an old one. I caught 4 fish. I think I caught 4 fish that day, and I had another 4 or 5 that grabbed onto it and got away. I got a feeling like go over there probably can catch fish pretty quick. Of course, you got to get the conditions right. It's been pretty hot for these days. It's a little cooler today. The sun hadn't come out real strong, so it's a little better. It's not ideal conditions, but you know, it's ideal conditions if you're not trying too hard to catch anything and just want to throw your hook in the water. And I could have gone over there, but that involves rowing the boat and, you know, all the things that you do when you go over there. It's a little bit different, a little bit more effort. This is just like, I could just wander aimlessly around and come down here and throw my hook in the water a few times and not catch anything and not feel bad about life, you know. It works out just fine. Yeah, so